Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this August the 6th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Sunday afternoon. That's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics out here and also the portion of the lower 48. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. And also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And also, we're going to take a look at a 40% chance of a watch being issued for portions of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia in the coming hour. So we'll discuss a little bit about that from the Storm Prediction Center as well. Okay, if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you're in. You get my forecast twice per day. Alrighty. Also like these videos, share these videos. And let's be moving off the African coast. This little system here looks a little suspicious here, and that little one moving off the African coast, and then there's another one behind it. In here, kind of punching a lot of dry air into these systems, but as these systems in the Gulf of Mexico, something could spin up later on down the road. But right now, we're just going to wait and see how these little tropical waves move across the tropical Atlantic. All right, we got a cold front extending from up here in the northern Atlantic all the way back to Mexico. We got another area of low pressure up here in the up around Minnesota and Iowa. We got a trailing cold front all the way down toward Texas. This will continue to shift off to the east. You see this little activity here. This will continue to move into the Carolinas. I would not be surprised to see a severe thunderstorm watch issued for portions of western South Carolina, western North Carolina, and northern Georgia over the coming hour. And don't miss a beat of this forecast. Alright, let's take a look at the weather radar across the nation. As you can see here, we got some showers, scattered showers that is, up here in portions of Quebec, Canada, back down toward Nova Scotia region. We've got some showers over around St. John's Island over there, and also up into the coastal waters there as well. There's that trailing cold front extending from portions of Ohio all the way back down into Alabama and Arkansas. This is producing some showers and storms as it continues to march off to the east. We got widespread showers and storms extending up in the portion of Michigan. Like I said, we got showers extending from Ohio all the way down into Georgia. Also off in the coastal waters off the southeast coast. Also into Florida, Gulf of Mexico as well. Scattered activity over Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Oklahoma as well. More widespread showers and storms up here in portions of Illinois, Iowa, and also Nebraska and South Dakota, Minnesota as well. Most of this activity will continue to shift on off into Wisconsin and the Chicago, Illinois area as well later this afternoon. We got widespread showers and storms over Montana. Scattered activity Idaho, Wyoming, also in the portion of Colorado and Utah as well. Elsewhere, it looks pretty quiet at this time, so good news there. All right, let's take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the. All right, here we go. We got some flood watches in effect for portions of Illinois and also portions of Missouri. Got some flood advisories there as well in portions of Missouri and also down into portions of Tennessee and also western North Carolina. Flood warning is still in effect for area rivers in South Dakota. Flood watches in effect for Idaho and also portions of Oregon. Air quality alert for you guys in Oregon as well. Red flag warning is also in effect for Utah, Colorado, and northern portions of New Mexico there as well. We got some heat advisories over portions of California, also down in sense of heat warning is also in effect for Southern California, southern portions of Arizona, one county there in portion of northern Arizona. We got heat advisory for portions of central and southern portions of Arizona, West Texas, South Texas, southern Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, much of Georgia, and all of Florida there as well. Also, we got sets of heat warnings in effect for Alabama, Mississippi, all of Louisiana, southern portions of Arkansas, much of Texas as well. All right, we got in Alaska, we got some special weather statements to the north. Central, we got some red flag warnings. Also, we got some high wind warnings in effect for the island chain of the Hawaiian Islands. Gale warning for central and south. Still got that tropical storm warning for the coastal areas of Mexico, as Tropical Storm Eugene is in that region. Alright, Storm Prediction Center time. As we got a lot of severe weather to cover in this episode here over the next 4 days. Alright, as you can see, we got general thunderstorm from New York State all the way down to the Florida Keys, to the Carolinas as well, all the way back to Oklahoma, Texas, portion of southern Arizona, all the way back over to Washington, Oregon State, also into Idaho and Nevada, also into Montana, all the way up into Minnesota, Iowa, and also into Michigan as well. We got a marginal risk over in portions of Oklahoma, New Mexico to Colorado, back into Wyoming. Also again over here in portions of the Great Lakes region, also through portions of Pennsylvania, through western South Carolina, down to the Florida Keys, Florida Panhandle, that is, Big Bend area as well, all the way back to Arkansas, also back into portions of Iowa as well. Alright, we still got a slight extending from Georgia all the way back up to Illinois and Indiana region for today. Alright, if you're in Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in Detroit, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Charlotte, North Carolina, Denver, Colorado, Cleveland, Ohio, marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Tornado probability 2% up here around the Great Lakes and portion of Ohio and Michigan, and also got 2% in portion of Kentucky, back into Iowa, 5% across Illinois and portion of Missouri. Alright, if you live in St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, Decatur, Illinois, St. Charles, Missouri, St. Petersburg, Missouri, 5% risk for a tornado this afternoon. If you live in Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Akron, Ohio, 2% risk for a tornado, damaging winds. We have 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow. Yellow extended from Georgia back to Illinois and Indiana. Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, 15% risk for severe damaging winds. If you live in Detroit, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Charlotte, North Carolina, Cleveland, Ohio, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 5% risk for damaging winds. The hail probability, we have 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow across Illinois, Missouri, 15% pretty much in the same vicinity. Alright, excuse me. Okay, so if you live in the significant area for large hail, this includes St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, St. Charles, Missouri, St. Peters, Missouri, and Florissant, Missouri. If you live in the 15% area, this includes St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Decatur, Illinois, and Champaign, Illinois. And if you live in the 5% risk, this includes Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Denver, Colorado, Nashville, Tennessee, Colorado Springs, Colorado. All right, this is for large hail this afternoon. Let's take a look at your Monday forecast. Alright, as you can see, we got general thunderstorms in portion of Northeast. We got a slight risk extending from New York State through portion of Massachusetts, Boston, all the way down to Georgia, back into Texas. Also over here in portion of Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado and Wyoming area. Slight risk there as well. We have a slight risk, also an enhanced risk for portions of Georgia, the Carolinas, all the way up to portion of West Virginia, and portion of southern Pennsylvania. Slight risk in the yellow, extending from New York State to Georgia, and also into Mississippi. In Alabama, excuse me. Maryland, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, Greensboro, North Carolina. If you live in the slight risk, this includes Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Nashville, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky. And if you live in the marginal risk, this includes New York, Dallas, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Fort Worth, Texas, Denver, Colorado. Marginal risk for severe weather for your Monday. Tornado probability, we got 2% in the green, 5% in the brown, 5% in the north mid-Atlantic region, 2% standing from New York State down to Georgia, the Western Carolinas, and northeast Alabama, and the 2% also reported of Colorado as well. All right, if you live in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Arlington, Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, Columbia, Maryland, 5% risk for a tornado. If you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Roy, Colorado, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, Greensboro, North Carolina, 2% risk for a tornado on Monday. Winds, we got 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow, 5% over here, 15 over here as well, 30% in the red. If you live in the 30% area, this includes Baltimore, Maryland, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, Greensboro, North Carolina. 15% risk, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Nashville, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky for 15%. And if you live in New York, Dallas, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Fort Worth, Texas, Denver, Colorado, 5% risk for damage and winds. All right, the hail probability. We got 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow through the Carolinas, and also the 15% in portions of Georgia, Carolinas up to Virginia, 15% over here in portions of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas as well. All right, if you live in Washington, D.C., Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Arlington, Virginia, Knoxville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 15% risk for large hail. If you live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland, Charlotte, North Carolina, Denver, Colorado, 5% risk for large hail on your Monday. Let's take a look at your Tuesday forecast. All right, we got general thunderstorm from Maine all the way down to the Florida Keys, all the way back to Louisiana, back to Texas, all the way back to Montana, all the way back over to Minnesota, all the way back down to Kentucky and Tennessee. Also in West Texas, southern portions of Arizona, and southern portions of the southwestern areas of New Mexico. All right, got a marginal risk in the northeast around Massachusetts, also down to Connecticut, also through the Carolinas, back in Mississippi. Also, we have a marginal risk over in South Dakota and Kansas, and a slight risk over Nebraska and portion of Kansas. All right, if you live in Grand Island, Nebraska, Canary, Nebraska, North Platte, Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska, Hayes, Kansas, slight risk for severe weather on your Tuesday. If you live in New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Newark, New Jersey, Lincoln, Nebraska, Jersey City, New Jersey, marginal risk for severe weather on your Tuesday. Probability, 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow. If you live in Grand Island, Nebraska, all the way to Hayes, Kansas, surrounding areas, that's 5% risk. If you live in New York, Boston, Massachusetts, also into, sorry about that, New York to New Jersey City, New Jersey, 5% risk for severe weather on your Tuesday. All right, let's move on to day number 4. Okay, here's day number 4. There's that 15% risk area, extending all the way in the portion of Missouri and Kansas. All right, if you live in Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, and Olathe, Kansas, 15% risk for severe weather. Let's take a look at day 5, the predictability too low. Same for day 6, same for day 7, and same for day 8 at this time. All right, and finally, we're going to take a look at the MDS discussion. This is where the current watches may be issued for portions of North Carolina through South Carolina into southeast Georgia. A watch may be issued. It has a 40% probability of severe potential that a watch may be issued for this area here coming up later on this afternoon. So just let's take a look at if there's another one. I think there was another one. Yeah, here's one here. We got one over portion of Alabama, also in the portion of Mississippi, from Oxford, Mississippi, all the way to Alexandria City, Alabama, toward Gadsden, and also Anniston and Birmingham, Alabama. This watch has a 60% of possible uh, issuance of a watch over the next few hours. So I would not be surprised to see a severe thunderstorm watch be issued for this region here in the next little bit. Okay, here. Let me see if I can check something out real quick, and then I'm going to make sure they haven't issued no white boxes yet. Let's see, the current watches. Okay, none are in effect yet, but that was just the current MDS discussion, just these two areas here. Go ahead and take a look at the storm report real quick. We only had one, and that was pretty much over Virginia at this time. So, alrighty, in the fire weather, we'll look at that real quick. Got elevated risk for Texas, New Mexico, also in Arizona, Utah, and portion of Colorado. I'll have more on this tonight in the overview forecast for you guys tonight. So, alrighty. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not, and we'll catch you back in the next video. Have a great Sunday afternoon, everyone. Take care.